Hey, I'm Liv, and when Drag Race Season 11 was coming out, I was obsessed with it. I don't know, I had issues, but I was so obsessed that I ended up kind of designing looks for the runways. So, yeah, I'm gonna show them to you. Honestly, the universe in which I'm competing on Drag Race um, is an universe that I cannot speculate on. Like, I cannot speculate on what challenges I would be good at if I would be eliminated or whatever. So I'm just gonna show you the looks. By the way, I was what 16 when I made these, so like, and some of these are still just sketches, so I'm gonna color them just to give you an idea of what I had in mind, but was too lazy to actually color. That's it, let's start.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
So here's my Meet the Queens look. Oh my god, I forgot to give myself a name. um, I don't know, let's go with like Lane. Wrong Lane? Whatever, this is Wrong Lane. And I have this like kind of ugly Celtic this ugly Celtic look. I have a sword that looks way too short, and the kind of theme was like neon colors. I tried to pick colors that I could see in other queens' looks. If I'm not mistaken, both this shade of blue and the shade of red were both in Scarlet Envy's dress. And the purple, I think Violet wore something with purple, I think. So yeah, this is really ugly. Oh my god. I don't wanna go through every single one of them and like redesign them and fix them. But I'm just saying that it looks ugly. I would have probably. I don't even know what to do with this theme and like fix this. I'm not gonna fix them. I'm not gonna fix them. This hair looks awful. Let's move on.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
Here's my entrance look. At the time, I was absolutely obsessed with the Mists of Avalon. So my idea for my like entrance catchphrase was the quote by Morgana that is like honestly I forgot the look. I'm gonna put it in post, but that's not important. What's important is this look, and it's okay. It's cute. That's something I still agree with, that if I did drag, I would want a more like medieval style. And yeah, this is cute. The little leaves are gold, and this hair is not atrocious. It's okay. Okay, so here's my look for the design challenge. And in case you don't remember, the queens got boxes with like materials inspired by other queens. So like there's no way of knowing which one I would have gotten. So I just gave myself Katya's box, and this is a dress inspired by like traditional Russian royalty wear, because I thought it was a good idea. Like, haha, it's like royalty and Katya is a communist. So I thought it was okay. It would be really sparkly, as you can see here, because I am gonna edit this. I think it would be pretty good. Maybe I would have to make it shorter because of the materials, but I still stand by it.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
What's this? Oh, it's the What's Your Sign runway. So here's the problem. I'm a Libra. And in case you don't remember, Vanjie came out with that Libra look. And I know in this hypothetical situation, I wouldn't know that Vanjie had that look. But like, think about it. What can you do with Libra as a theme? You know what I mean? This was probably the first and only time I was sad that I was a Libra because there's nothing you can do. So this would be like a dress with the colors of sunrise or sunset, because Libra is often represented either by the scales or by this symbol here. And if you've never like questioned yourself like what the fuck is this symbol, it represents the sunrise or sunset because that's when day and night are like balanced. So yeah, I would have to muster up all my courage to walk the runway like that, looking at Vanjie. I know that her look was wearing her like a lot, but it's so striking. You wouldn't even have time to think about that. You know what I mean? And I would change the wig. Oh my god, the middle parts. I was so committed to the medieval motif, like the middle parts. Jesus Christ.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
Oh yeah, I had completely forgotten about that. My drag Sona is like super jacked. So this is Fringe, and I stand by this look because my idea would be to make a dress out of like the skin of my enemies. And I have people with names in mind for this dress. And the shoes are also made out of skin, and the hairband thingy is also made out of skin. And yes, those are fingers making the flower. I still really like this.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
Okay, so this is Orange Alert. And apparently I was like a guy pirate. I mean, I'm still obsessed with pirates, so yeah, and it would be all sparkly and orange. I think that, it wouldn't be absolutely amazing, but I wouldn't be embarrassed by it.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
This is part of the Monster Ball, and this one is for Trampy Trick or Treater. So I would be once again showing my male drag side, and I would be, I think, a drunk sailor. Yeah, I love pirates. I love pirates a lot. And like I think if I could pull off like a makeup that would make me really hot, like for example, TT Brett, maybe this would work. Maybe.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
And this is Monster Ball Witch Please. The second look is inspired by this illustration. Once again, I was obsessed with the Mists of Avalon at the time. And my idea, I know this sounds batshit insane, but in this universe I would be like a magical being. I would be like a literal witch. And I would walk down the runway in the first look. And then, what am I saying? In the video clip to Remember the Time by Michael Jackson, where the guy, like, he drops a little bit of pepper on one side and then the other, and then in front of him. And then the pepper swallows him up, and then he transforms into Michael Jackson. It would be something like that, but I would want like, and then I would be in the second look. I stand by it. I mean, the wigs could do better. Again, I had no creativity for wigs. But the first one, at least it fits. The second one could be fuller. Yeah, aside from being completely impossible, I stand by this.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
And here's my first alternative for the MILF look that I would have to put together there. And it's like a Medusa with a few of her body parts turned to stone. And this wig, like, maybe it's completely impossible because no one's done it. At least I have never seen anything like this. But like, imagine a wig that has like the snakes, and the snakes move like with some kind of mechanism hidden by the wig, and the snakes move and like snap at you and stuff. I feel like that would be possible. So yeah, I like this look, but for some reason I had another option. So let me see what that was because I don't remember.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
This one is inspired by Tommy from the Junji Ito manga. It would be too basic. I'm gonna stick with Medusa, but like, if I could pull off the makeup here, it would be amazing. But the outfit would still be too basic, and I have no other ideas on outfits, so like, I'm gonna stick with Medusa here.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
This is All That Glitters Is Gold, and this is like a warrior goddess type. Once again, the wig is ugly. I don't know what to say. I would just be carrying that shield around. Like, what? It would be ugly, but I feel like no one would comment on it. Like, it is ugly, but I get a pass.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
And here we have From Farm to Runway. This is probably my favorite look of this batch. Because this was a design challenge. You had to like actually make this outfit in the workroom, and yes, it is a bodysuit with stuff glued to it, but it is really cute. Like, my little hat and the wig, it isn't ugly. It fits with the bodysuit, and like the boots as well with the flowers. I love this. I stand by this. If Michelle said that it's a bodysuit, I would be like, yes, it is, and I look stunning. So yeah, I really like this.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
Sequin on the runway. This is cute. I stand by this. Maybe not the tattoo. I gave up on that tattoo idea, by the way. But maybe like cutting the sleeves of the dress, like, I'm gonna show it to you. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm gonna show it to you. And like, this wig isn't like terrible, like all the middle parts with braids that I've been wearing, but I would like something more like this. So yeah, this can be salvaged.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
So this is my Face-kini Realness look, and it would be amazing. Like, the Face-kini wouldn't be that ugly thing. It's because I was drawing this in the middle of class, so I couldn't really look up, Black Plague source and just copy them. But they would be a more flashy texture to give that impression of like goopy, my skin fell off. And I really like this. And I would probably be wearing fishnets. And I really like this Plague Doctor look. Why can't people have my taste on Drag Race?
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
This is the Caftan look, and like, I'm gonna be honest, you can maybe notice that it looks a little better in style than the rest of the looks. Not in style of clothes, in style of drawing. And it's because I didn't draw a Caftan look back in the day, so I had to draw one. I took care with the inspiration because like, I wanted it to be something that I could have done back in the day. And this is inspired by a villain that I was scared out of my mind when I was a kid. She's from Poison, she's the queen of the spiders, and I was terrified of her. Like, terrified. So yeah, I would be the queen spider. Maybe I would make like shiny. Something has to be shiny here. Otherwise, I'm a walking, I don't know, soggy newspaper. But I think that it has potential. If the fabric has like a lot of movement and it is shiny, then it's fine.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
So what is this? Oh, the makeover challenge. So as is common knowledge, people bring matching outfits or identical outfits from home and then just dress their partner in that. So yeah, no matter what, me and my partner would be like these sun siblings, like the Empire of the Sun, and I would be like the warrior, and my sister would be the Princess of the Sun. This is fine. Again, like my wig, bed. I like what I did with my sister's hair, but like I had no creativity. For someone who grew up watching anime, I had no creativity for hair.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
So what is this best drag? Okay, no. Because they would be, I don't know. If they liked me, they would be like, oh, this is a callback to, because again, this is the same silhouette as the Katia dress, Russian royalty and stuff. So if they liked me, they would be like, oh, this is a callback to your first look. And if they didn't like me, they would be like, are you recycling stuff now? Like, what the fuck? But it could be good, depending on what the stamp on the dress was. It's fine. But the wig would probably be ugly again.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
Ooh, I have another option for best drag. And it's this. And like, I really like this. It would be like not even inspired. It would be ripped straight from this illustration that I am going to find to show it to you. And I would just wear that outfit. I like this much better. I really like this. Especially because I look really good as a ginger. So yeah.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
So this is the reunion look. And this is from another one of my favorite books as a kid, Flora Segunda. And this is Flora's best friend. I don't know, I like this. Yeah.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
This is my second option for the reunion, and it's inspired by this boss from Rule of the Rose, that like the impact this creature has had on my life. You have no idea. And I like this. I feel like you either love it or you absolutely hate it. I can see how it can be seen, perceived as ugly, but I still like it. I think I like my Flora cosplay better, but I like this.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
This is the look for my finale entrance, and I would basically be like this Joan of Arc. I'm gonna put up a painting here, literally that, but maybe more bejeweled and bedazzled.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
This is my original idea for the finale, but I didn't know how to convey the idea that I had on my mind, so I just chose the Joan of Arc one. Honestly, nowadays I think I prefer the Joan of Arc, but I have this ring that is like, if you look at it from one side, it's this very dull gray stone, but if you turn it and the light catches on it, it lights up with this like magic purple light. So I wanted to make a dress out of that, but I was like, hey, I may be a witch in this universe, but I'm not gonna be able to do that, you know?
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
So let me just tell you that my lip syncs for the crown outfits are so boring because I have no like ideas for reveals. So I have no idea what this was. I don't even know a color for this. This looks nice, but still I have no reviews. This is another lip sync for the crown outfit. I have no idea what to tell you. Um, at least this looks nice. And again, the hair. I know the hair. The hair.
There's a bunch of snacks in here, and by God, we're finding them.
And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you liked these looks. If you have the bad idea of being inspired by these looks, just shout me out. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, blah 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 blah. And I'll make more videos if an anvil doesn't fall on my head. Bye!